everybody. Welcome and thank you for joining us this afternoon, and welcome back for those who grew with us this morning. We had John McKnight speaking this morning, and some key takeaways that he gave us was the importance of individuals and their gifts, the importance of community connectors, along with the role of agencies and institutions need to take a step back and be the second investor. Those are some interesting key facts, but it is recorded, and I'm sure you'll be able to have access to it after if you're interested. On your tables, for people who are just joining us, you'll see that you have cue cards, pens, and markers. Those are for you to write down what is growing for you, our theme, of course. So some questions to get your minds thinking. Do you have ideas that are sprouting? Do you have any seeds? Have any seeds been planted? Are you feeling curious or excited? Do you have ideas that are sprouting? Are you oh wait, I just repeated that. Anyways, let us know and write it down on your cue card, and then you can place it in the bag at the registration table afterwards or during, whichever you'd like. And in addition, you'll see on the back wall there's a big brown paper. We would love for you to write down any ideas of growth or anything you're feeling during the symposium. You can draw it, you can write it. We just want that space filled up in the next 3 days, so please add to it. And if you are online with us and you have any questions or comments, please share it in the chat, and we have some online hosts that will help you do that. In addition, there will be an opportunity to gather back together next Tuesday, May 17th, for a community conversation from 3 till 4:30. The details to register you will see later today on the slides, the welcome table, or come and find a belonging Brant team member to get registered. During that time, we will consider the harvest from this week and see what we want to water and grow further. Thank you. Now, Emily will take it away.
Thank you. Oh my goodness, my mask is stuck. Hi everyone, my name is Emily. I am here to introduce our Brant County Health Unit speaker, Laura. Laura is a public health nurse with the Brant County Health Unit and has been for the past 15 years. She has worked in this community in the school health team program, substance use and harm reduction, and mental health promotion and prevention programs. Laura has provided many community education seminars to agencies, organizations, professionals, parents, and young people, sharing evidence-based practices in the topic of mental health promotion and also prevention. Laura actively engages and contributes at Brantford and Brant's many community tables, working to build health awareness, capacity, skills, and knowledge, such as Mental Health Week, the FASD Addiction Committee, the Suicide Prevention Brant Committee, and the Brantford Police Services TIC Board. Laura is a certified Triple P parenting instructor, as well as a licensed Safe Talk suicide prevention program instructor, and a certified advisor for the National Psychological Health and Safety in the Workplace program. That is quite the resume, and now I will pass it to Laura. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, I get to play with this, do I? Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the afternoon session for the ABCD Forum. I was honored to be asked to join with you here today and share with you some thoughts and ideas about self-care. As you know, we've all survived a very turbulent, to say the least, couple of years, and it's kind of rocked our boats a little bit. And so today, what I'm hoping to do is try to unpack some of those things that has rocked your boat, and at the end of the day, try to give you some new equipment to help build capacity within your boat. So that is my goal for all of you today. I like to be an engaged speaker, which means I'd like to hear from you. One of my biggest challenges about public speaking is preparing who is my audience? What do they already know so that I don't bore them to tears? What do they bring with them that I don't know about that I would really like to hear about, you know? So this is my biggest challenge. I can talk all day long, just ask my friends. I can just go, that's an easy part. The tricky part is finding out more about you and what you bring to the table and questions that you have and things that are of concern for you. So people tend to be a little bit shy at these things, you know. They're not always forthcoming and wanting to put their hand up, even though we're in an old school. So I bring bait. So these are stress toys. They're in the shape of little brains because our brains are so important. And we need to remember that. We don't see our brains, so this reminds us we have one, and it needs good health. So for those of you who participate, hopefully I won't hurt any of you, and I will try to, my softball is off a little bit, but I'll do my best to lob one of these to you if you can help me out a little bit and participate in our journey together for the next 45 minutes or an hour. Okay? Deal? Everybody wants one of these, right? Yeah, these are good. Okay, good. All right, self-care. I do not have it up on the big screen. Love tech, so cool. That's why, old school, I printed on paper. Now you all have a copy of it, and I have my laptop, and we can all follow along this way. So the first slide says self-care, a necessity, not a nicety. And I would like to propose that maybe a few years ago, we looked at self-care as a nicety. It was the mani-pedis, it was a night out with the boys, it was a little me time. It was something nice that we did for ourselves. The pendulum has swung. Things have changed a lot. Things aren't what they were like before. And I cannot and will not let you go out of here not knowing how imperative it is that we all begin to really take a good look at how we take care of ourselves. It is a necessity. It is no longer a nicety. I was listening to John earlier today, and he spoke about the ABCD, the principles, the fundamentals of what do you need from a community to make it thrive. What is it that helps bring us closer together? And my brain went down a path, as it often does, sort of in a completely different direction, because it's like that. And I thought about how important it is if you were out in the woods, and you're maybe a couple of people, maybe 3, 4, 5 people, maybe their family, maybe their friends. You have a set of priorities when you're in the woods. What are they? What's the first thing you need when you're out in the woods? Water. 100%. You need water. What else do you need? Shelter. Oh, look, you get brains. Look at you. Okay. Toilet paper. Yeah. Toilet paper, for sure. You can use some leaves. What else? Compass would be a beautiful thing, wouldn't it? A little direction. Not what I was looking for. Food, shelter, water. Oh, fire, heat. That would be a good thing. What is the one thing that cannot happen when you are out in the woods by yourselves, maybe with just a couple of people, far, far, far away? Yeah. Self-care. Self-care hits the top 4, right all up there with water, food, shelter, heat. Nobody can get hurt in the woods. We can't have that happen because help is so far away, right? We have to take care of ourselves not to get injured and not to get sick. And so this is what I want to speak about today. On a bigger level, beyond the manis and the petties, it's about self-care because we really need to look at it in a different way. Okay. Whoops. Uh-oh. I'm going to need to plug in my... Could you help me with that, Barb? All right. My battery is just in my bag. I just realized it's going to crash on me. Okay, I have provided you with hard copies in light of tech. And I'm going to have to hold this up really close because I'm old. And it was supposed to be big on the screen, but I don't have a screen. So there's a status update that says at the bottom of the first page, what began as weeks of a pandemic of challenge turned into months of anxiety, fatigue, and depression, and then it turned into years. Indeed, a new study from a nonprofit organization has indicated that our mental health is failing. It is not what it once was, and women in particular are suffering the most. I'm paraphrasing. You can read it verbatim. What they're also saying is that access to care, not quite so fast. Because of the demand, because of where we are and what's happening, we don't have capacity to keep up. We are so grateful that we have the resources that we have in this community, but they are fragile. And so it becomes acutely aware that we need to do more so that the healthcare system in its fragile state that it's in now can recover and get back to where it needs to be. I attended the Mental Health Week opening ceremony at Harmony Square. It was so much fun to be back out in the community. And the director, Mike, whose last name I have no idea, but I was told he was the director of CMHA, and his name is Mike. And Mike took the microphone at the kickoff of the ceremony, and he went off script. He went way off script. And he shared with us his thoughts and his feelings about where we're at and where we need to go, and how we need to work together even more so as a community to take care of one another. And to take care of one another in a community, what has to happen first? I'm throwing that one out to you guys. Oh, yes, girl. Yes. Here we go. One brain for you. See? It's easy. Yeah. If you have not heard this analogy, I will share it with you. It's quite popular in my circle. If you're on an airplane and the airplane is buffeting about and the steward says, you need to put on your oxygen mask, and they fall from the top. You've got a small child with you and an elderly parent. Who gets the oxygen mask first? The child? The elderly parent? Which one? Which one gets the oxygen mask? Anybody? Ooh. The parent. Why? Yes. Yes. You will be of no good to the child or the elderly parent if you're not getting oxygen yourself. Right? Nice catch. Ooh, that was good.
There's also the filling up your love cup. So I heard that from John Gray. So he showed the example of a jug. And he's like, okay, so, you know, your family gets this much of your love, your work gets this much of your love, your friends get this much, and then your jug has nothing in it. And what you're giving then is basically anger, low tolerance, crap.
Tapped out?
Tapped out.
Tapped out.
Yeah.
100%.
Sure you keep your love jug.
That's right. And in fact, that's the name of this forum here this afternoon, isn't it? Fill your cup. I remembered that. I'm all proud of myself. Okay. It's the little things in life that make me happy. What would you? Of course. My bad. There you go. Have a brain. Okay. So that status update, it's a bit gloomy, it's a bit heavy, but I'm just trying to make, put a fine point on where we're going with this today. All right. So self-care defined. World Health puts it out that it is the ability to promote our own health. And World Health takes it to a whole new level. They're talking about medicines and because in so many parts of the world, they don't have hospitals and doctors and things like that. So promoting our own health is a survival thing like in the woods. We can't get sick. We have to take care of ourselves. We want to prevent disease. And boy, did we learn that the last couple of years. We want to maintain the health that we have. And we want to learn to cope with stressors. We want to manage our illness and disease and disabilities with or without healthcare providers. This is the definition of self-care. So it's a little bit bigger and broader. So the question then is why self-care? Why is self-care so important to us? Any thoughts?
Yeah, well, again, you can't live if you're empty.
Yeah. Yeah. If I'm, yeah.
Sorry, the folks on
Oh. Repeat? Okay. Okay. I will try to do that. Sorry, folks at home. I'll do better. Okay. So when we practice self-care, one of the first signs and symptoms when we're getting concerned about somebody, and I'm sure each and every one of us at some point on our path of life, we have come across individuals that we become concerned about, and things aren't going well. One of the first things in the Nursing 101 book is a head-to-toe assessment. And in that head-to-toe assessment, we look at personal hygiene and care. No, we're not looking for Vogue model kind of self-care. We're looking at, are they groomed? Are they taking care of themselves? Are they brushing their teeth and brushing our hair? Because when we do that, those very simple and very basic things, we're saying, it makes me feel good, and I'm taking care of me. So it's a big red warning sign when someone's not doing that, because it impacts the following: their self-determination of who they are, self-efficacy, their autonomy with the rest of the world. Are they on equal par with people, or are we feeling not on par? Are we kind of feeling like we're not worth it? Are we promoting our own health needs? And are we actively engaged? So this is where we get to self-care is important for ourselves, because it brings all those things out in us. It brings out all those great things that make us feel like we're belonging to the community and contributing. So types of self-care. Give me some ideas. What are some types without cheating? Don't look ahead. Yeah. There's meditation. That's right. Very good. One brain coming your way. I'm going to bounce it just so I don't hit anybody by mistake. Social self-care. Oh, that's a big one. My family became Zoomers. Kind of like baby boomers, but not. They became Zoomers. And we got together in lockdown on Zoom. And it was hard and it was awkward, but at least we did that much. People have missed our social connections, our chit-chat. It's been hard. What's another type? Pardon me? Nutrition. Yes. You can have a brain. I'm not going to throw it to you. Long baths. Okay. Other types of self-care?
Boundaries and learning to say no when
Yep. Yeah. Those healthy boundaries protect us. There's a mechanism there that is designed to help us when things are not going well and we're having some struggles. Yeah. Movement, physical activity. So I have this thing, I call it the Big Four. And the Big Four consists of the very basic fundamentals of all self-care. Water, 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 and a little bit of everything else. And I think if we stick to that, we're going to help our health a lot. Not too much coffee. If you've ever seen me on too much coffee, it's not good. It's not pretty. I'm way up here. So I've learned to back off the coffee and more water. Nutrition. Eating everyday foods most of the time, and having our occasional fun food, sometimes food, the rest of the time. Physical activity. So we've got water, nutrition, physical activity. There was one more. Nutrition. We talked about them at our table. Nutrition, water, physical activity. Sleep. Thank you. Sleep. That's the one. So those four provide the basis from which we can then launch off into healthier social relationships, better engagement. Yeah. Walking, exercise, that's the physical activity, right? That's good stuff. Okay. What is self-care not? When do we find out that maybe we're not really taking care of ourselves and maybe we thought we were? Oh, hanging out with the media? Yeah. Mainstream media was the comment. What else is self-care not? It's not harmful to you. So some folks think they do certain activities, and I'll leave that up to your imaginations, but they do things and they in the name of self-care. But maybe it's not really helping them. You know what I mean? Maybe it's not really the best path. They're trying to figure out a path, but maybe that's not the right one. So to make sure that you know you're doing positive, healthy self-care, it's got to be good for you, that you feel good about, right? So there's some examples of that on your sheet of what it is not. Okay, how we doing? Good? All right. So, Mr. Einstein is on my slide here. He was supposed to be up here. So what is the problem then? What are the barriers that we have to, you guys are smart, you get it. You know what it is, what it's not, what's right. So what are the barriers? What are the challenges that we're experiencing when we know that this self-care is so very important? Shame? Explain.
I guess admitting you have a problem, or admitting like if you notice yourself slipping, you're burning out, you're sleeping more, your apartment's falling apart, and then you feel this cycle of shame that would create a barrier to self-care because you don't want to admit you have a problem that you have to address in the first place.
Okay, very well said. You get a brain. So the comment is that when we slip up, which we do because we're human, hello, then we're a bit embarrassed that we haven't been taking good care of ourselves, eating right, getting the sleep, getting the water, and maybe drinking other things we shouldn't, and so on and so forth. And then, so we just don't feel like we should then go back to trying to do our self-care. So maybe we have some issues with that. Good point. What else? What else is a barrier? Lack of resources. For example, okay. So finding the things that you need for your self-care. Finding out where your assets are in your community. See how I did that, Risha? Okay. So, yes, finding out what we do have available to us can be a challenge. And connecting with people who might know more to help us find those things that we need, whether it's the social connection of self-care, whether it's the basics of self-care, food, water, shelter, the food bank, finding those connections. Any other barriers?
Many of those connections that are good for us and good for self-care were closed to us. We were closed to social connections. We were closed to healthy nutrition. I never saw once a government anything who said, you know, get off of the chips and the pop, and this is how you eat healthy. This is what you can do for yourself. Instead, they just, all of the messages were just breeding more fear.
Yeah.
And more division.
I actually received quite a few emails during the pandemic, although I was too busy working out in the clinics to sort of unpack them. But your line of thought is true. Some of the messaging that got missed, and it will be a lesson learned, I am certain of it, that promoting our immune systems through sleep, eating, all the big four, physical activity, those big four weren't hammered quite as much as wear a mask, wash your hands. So I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, you know, fresh air and sunshine is the best disinfectant.
I know, when they closed the parks, I was like, as a public health nurse, I'm like, it's outside. Really? We can wear a mask at the park? I get that. That would be fine. But when that yellow tape went up around my kids' park, it just broke my heart.
I know that there's lots out there that's social prescribing now, which is like a doctor writing a prescription to exercise or be healthy or
Yes.
go outside or try yoga. Kind of.
Yes?
I don't know if that's something that I know that the Canadian Red Cross Society has a whole project on that as well, but that was a thing that I've been hearing on the news. And
Yep.
it's happening in other parts of the world, but I don't know if that's something that you've heard about happening or.
I have, actually. And I think it's awesome. Because sometimes we'll go to the doctor and we're having some issues, and they will tell you, okay, I would like you to, work on eating more everyday foods more often, getting more physical activity, drinking more water. But it's so powerful, that pen, when it hits the prescription pad. Walks 4 times a week, 30 minutes each, da-da-da-da-da-da, and then come back and see me in a month. It's fabulous, really. It's good stuff. Okay. All right. So some of the barriers and myths that some folks feel, and like I said, you're all unique and different and have traveled different paths, and I have no idea what they are. But sometimes we don't even know what we need. Sometimes we're just so into our stuff that people see us differently than how we're seeing ourselves. And we don't know that we need to maybe take a step back and have a look-see at what's going on with our self-care. And sometimes it takes a friend or a family member to tell us, and that's okay. But that self-reflection is maybe the first step in thinking about your own self-care. Reflecting on what are you doing every day, every week, every month to keep yourself strong. Some folks might think that it's selfish to take care of yourself. I had a conversation with someone earlier over lunch, and they were sharing how, we were raised in a way in which, don't be selfish, look after other people. And as a little girl, that's what I was taught to do. But then it almost becomes like a martyrdom, right? It becomes like your job, whether you're paid or not paid, is to look after other people. And if you're taking care of yourself, then you're selfish. So maybe that's a barrier that we carry with us in accessing our self-care. Any others? I mean, I've got the list here. Sometimes too busy, too many responsibilities, right? What's that? Time? Yeah. That is a tough one, isn't it? Brain for you. Any suggestions on how to address the time constraint? How do we prioritize that we are the most important? That we need to be healthy in order to do all the good work that you want to do? Delegate. Ooh, I like that. Awesome.
Because the people we are looking after sometimes need to look after themselves as well.
Give them a little independence. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Throw the bird out of the nest.
That's right. You'll still be around. You'll be watching, but they do need to learn to walk on their own or fly if they're a bird. Yes. That's right. Those are excellent. You ready? Yep. Incoming. Oh, look at that. Catch. Yes.
Being happy all the time.
Being happy all the time. Feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Gives you warm and fuzzies. That's good. Okay. The time and the priority management is something that we all need to figure out and unpack ourselves, how we can make ourselves the number one. So when someone says to you, oh, there's a thing going on at the local church, I need 3 pies. I know you have a birthday and you're going to go visit somebody this weekend, but can you make me those 3 pies? I really need them. Can you?
I'd love to help you, but I don't bake.
Can I think about that and get back to you?
Yes.
Oh,
Right.
my phone's, I can't hear you.
Uh-huh. Oh, we're breaking up. Oh, drop call. Okay. Saying no to folks that we like, we care about, and love is difficult. But learning how to say, I would love to do that for you, but I can't right now. That is a skill to be worked on to allow yourself a little bit more time to breathe so that that pressure cooker that you're feeling coming in, you're buying yourself some space. It does not make you a bad person to say, I'd love to do that. That sounds awesome to come to that party or to bake those pies, but I can't right now. Can I do it another time? Yeah.
There's a great acronym from 12-step work called Pause Land. You go to Pause Land and the letters stand for postpone action until serenity emerges.
I love that. I need to write that down. That's very good. Postpone action until serenity
Emerges.
Emerges. Not bad. Okay, very good. So when we look at the bottom of page 12, I've given you some intersecting circles. And we need to look at our intersecting circles. Again, this is our self-assessment. Where are we at? Where are we at with our families? What are they bringing with them on their days? What's happening at work or at home or the social places that we visit? And how are they all intersecting? And are they working for us? All right. So part of this self-care business, as I said, sometimes we're not even aware of where we're at. Stressed out, not stressed out, feeling good, taking care of ourselves, not feeling good, not taking care of ourselves. So at the top of page 5, I have a little chart to ask yourselves some critical thinking questions to help you figure out where you're at, and then subsequently you can figure out where you would like to go. I cannot tell you what is your self-care. Some folks, when they ask me to come and speak, they say, oh, Laura's going to give us a list of all these wonderful things that we can do. Nope, no list. Sorry. You guys got to figure that one out. What works for you? But what I can give you is a tool to help check in with yourself. Ask yourself, oh, I need bifocals. All right. I can't even read this without the bifocals. Lingering feelings of rage or anger. So I had a very busy day on Mother's Day and I was starving. My kid was in a play. I had to take her to the play. There was an after play thing. It's Mother's Day. I'm going to go to the restaurant. I don't even want to sit in the restaurant. I'm going to get food to go to bring it home. I go in and I ask the hostess at the stand, could I order some food to take home, please? I see you're very busy. She says it will be an hour and a half. I'm already hitting the hangry level. And I just looked at her and I was just like, breathe, Laura, just breathe. Just breathe. She goes, we're really crazy. The kitchen has gone nuts. And I'm like, okay. Part of me wanted to snap. And part of me, I was able to take those deep breaths. And she's just a young thing. My daughter's going to be doing that job soon. I said, it's not your fault. It's okay. Wendy's will be just fine. Take it easy. I'll see you later. But I know that that weekend was kind of overscheduled for me. I don't like to be overscheduled. It doesn't agree with me. But I was feeling those feelings of a bit of rage and wanted to, who wants to take some kid's head off because the restaurant's busy? I mean, in our rational minds, we never want to do that because that's just rude and mean. But maybe it was time for me to check in with myself. What's the other one here? Maintaining unhealthy relationships because we're worried about how that will go if we start to maybe take a step back or a sidestep from things that aren't working for us. Have a look at your relationships. Make sure that you're feeling great and Olympic when you're in them. Right? Okay. Bystander feelings. As of February 2022, the world has become a stage of a situation that, by and large, I would think we are all feeling some bystander feelings taking place between Russia and the Ukraine. A feeling of helplessness, a feeling of hopelessness, a feeling of, really? Really? Those are hard feelings, and they're quite real. So we need to talk about those feelings. We need to talk about what's happening there and how it's impacting us. Can't just keep pushing it down. But that's an example of a bystander feeling. And you may have that at work. You may be frustrated with what's happening at work, or how come we can't do this? I really want to do this, and we're feeling that it's not directly affecting you, but you can see it going on, and you wish you could make changes. Okay, now your meter's going over a little bit on your assessment. More self-care is required. All right. So you get the idea. We need to check in with ourselves to determine where we're at and where we need to make maybe some changes or additions with our self-care. The consequences. What happens when we don't take care of ourselves? You get sick. Why do you get sick? Right. Cortisol is released when we get triggered. Cortisol, our activated amygdala, puts us in that fight mode, puts us in the flight mode where we want to run away. But it also can trigger two other things, freeze mode and feign. We hear about fight or flight, but often the other two get dropped, and they shouldn't. So freezing is when something is going on and you're just watching. You're not running, you're not fighting, you're just frozen in the moment. But it's impacting you stressfully equally as much. And feigning is a word that's not used very much. No, F-E-I-G-N, I think, F-E-I-G-N. Yeah, it's like, holy moly, it's hitting the fan, and I'm just going to do whatever they tell me to do, and I'm just going to, hold on to what's going on. I'm not buying into it. I don't understand what's happening, but I'm going along because I'm caught up in some kind of, turbulent hurricane. And so it looks like you're buying into what's happening, but you are not. You're in a feigning phase. So these stressors that hit us release all this cortisol, which does compromise our immune system significantly. If you've ever remembered going to school, writing exams, and cramming so hard, and you were fine right up until then, and as soon as the stress was gone, bam, you were sick as a dog for 2 weeks. Right? Yeah. It also causes what else? What else does stress do to us? That's the cortisol. The cortisol puts us in that mode of fight or flight or feign or freeze. And so when the body takes food in, it doesn't know when it's going to get the next dose of food, so it holds on to it, keeps it, because we're in survival mode, like in the jungle. Okay, I don't know what's happening next, so I eat, and the body goes, save everything. Save it all, right? And this is how we gain weight. In a nutshell, that's what happens. High blood pressure, right? Stress actually will make your blood pressure go up way high. Why is that bad? Why is high blood pressure bad? Okay. Heart attack, stroke. Our little tiny veins are such paper-thin, little delicate things. Teeny-weeny delicate tissue. A garden hose is made of heavy rubber. It can handle the pressure of the water. It's very thick, and it won't burst. Our little tiny veins and arteries, they will burst. That's the stroke. So high blood pressure is not good because the little tiny veins can't take the pressure. Garden hose, yes. Veins, not so much. So we need to keep our stress in check. That makes sense. So let me ask you to reflect for a moment as to where are you at? Take a minute. I'm going to ask you all just to close your eyes. And I just want you to close your eyes and breathe. What's that sound? The sound of silence. Except the truck. Taking a moment, literally a moment, to just be still in the silence. When we do this type of thing, even 2-3 times a day if we can, when we first wake up, to just sit and do nothing, think of nothing, and just allow that moment to kind of bring it down and check in. I know what busy mornings are like. My day starts at 6 a.m. too. feed the kid, pack a lunch, make a breakfast, da-da, da-da, da-da. It's crazy. It's busy. Jump in the car, grab the coffee, off we go. We can take a moment and check in with ourselves and just kind of get centered all over again and say, okay, I'm going to take on this day. When we want to move towards self-care, the recent studies, and there's many of them, will tell you that walking outside in nature will change your biomarkers. And as a nurse, I have to tell you, I love quantitative, which one is it? Qualitative, the one with the numbers. Quantitative data makes me happy because then nobody can say I was BSing anybody. So when they take people's samples of their cortisol levels and their heart rates and then send them off for a 20-minute walk in the woods and test them again, and all those numbers have changed in a better direction, it makes me very happy. And then I want to stand up here and tell everybody these things. We connect with nature, we're breathing, it feels good. Even if we're just sitting in a simple park like this woman in the picture, it doesn't require anything fancy, but just sitting there quietly. No phones, no tech, just sitting in the bench, in the forest, and connecting again. It will change your biomarkers for the better, 100%. This is self-care. When you think about your challenges and barriers to performing self-care, I'd like you to think of this. What would you tell the person that means the most to you? What would you tell the person who means absolutely the most to you that they were maybe needing to go for a walk? And they said, no, but I can't. I got to do this and I got to do this. What would you tell them? They can wait. What would you tell the person you care about the most that you thought, you need to go take a 1-hour bubble bath or do some yoga? No, but I can't because I've got this thing I got to do and I got some other things that are really pressing on me and I have to do them. What would you tell them?
Slow down to speed up. You'd actually be more creative, have more energy after you take some time to slow down.
Sure. Well, what else? You've already had 2 brains. You can't have any more brains. What else might you tell them? Yeah? Yeah, come on, let's go. I'm taking you out. What else would you tell somebody you care about? To take a little time for themselves in a healthy way, in a good way. Yeah? That's right. Oh, did you get it? Oh, yes. This is good. I haven't heard anybody yet. This is very good. Yeah?
Yeah, also examples like of really high business people like doctors and things like that, they would go golfing.
Yes.
They would take that time to,
Yes. Decompress.
yeah.
Sure. Let it out. Okay, so here's the punchline. Do you tell that to yourself? If you don't, maybe think about it. Please think about it. What do you tell the person you care about the most? Well, I would tell them this. I would tell them that. I would make sure they took care of themselves. But you got to tell that to you too. You got to say, I'm worth it. This is me, my self-care. Because I got to be strong because I want to keep going for another day. I can't get sick or hurt in the woods. I got to keep going. Good stuff. If you look at the top of page 7, it looks fabulous on a screen, this tree. It is like the quintessential perfect tree. You can climb this tree because the branches are low to the ground. It's got just the right amount of shade and just the right amount of sunlight coming through. You can have a picnic under it. That tree to me looks very old, like it's been around a while. So my question to you is, when does self-care happen for you? Honest. When do you do self-care? Let's hear it. Do you do it every day? Okay, excellent. These are my star pupils here. I'm going to keep them forever. Do any of you maybe save up your self-care till the end of the day? Oh, lunchtime is self-care time. End of the day, maybe? What's that? After dinner. Okay. What about the end of the weekers? Work like a madman. Monday through Friday. Friday, 6, 7 o'clock, you finally pack it in and go, okay, now I'm going to take care of me. Right? Or who are the real, workaholics? They save it up till the end of the year. When I go on vacation, that's when I do my self-care. All right. That big, beautiful tree, that perfect tree, grew every single day. It did not wait till the end of the week. It did not wait till the end of the month or the end of the year. It grew a little bit every day. It drank water. It absorbed the sun. And it grew. And so self-care must become like that. We can't save it up. And it rested. So whether it's, lunchtime, okay, I'm going to do the quiet moment. I'm going to do 5 minutes of yoga because this instructor is going to teach me how to do a 5-minute pose. It's going to make me feel great. But we need to do the self-care all day long. And we can't save it up to when everything else is done. Maybe it's in the morning, right? Okay. We're almost there, folks. There is a plan of action on the top of page 8. And the plan goes something like this. It is not a to-do list, just so you know, because you already have enough to do. What this is checking in with what are you already doing now, and how is it working for you, and what happens when you don't do it. So I have given you my example across the top. I take a daily walk with my dog and my daughter. I left my daughter out. This is what is working well for me. And what happens when I don't do it? I really don't sleep the same because I haven't stretched out my legs. I haven't gotten some air and just kind of disconnected. And so there's a consequence when I don't do the thing that I like to do and is good for me. And so then I revisit that and I go, oh yeah, I really need to do that thing. So when you make your plan, maybe you're going to start something new, and I encourage you to do that. But also remember all the things you're doing right and make sure you mark them down first. I drink this many glasses of water, and when I do, I don't get headaches. I don't get lethargic at 2 o'clock. I feel good. I sleep better. It's awesome. And when I don't, then I get headaches, and I feel lethargic, and into that. So make sure you make your plan starting with all the stuff you're doing right. Give yourself the pat on the back. Say, yep, I'm doing my reading. I'm doing my walking. I'm doing my yoga. These are the things I'm doing to take care of me. And maybe add a new thing. Or maybe change the frequency to make sure that you're not saving up to the end of the week. Maybe trying to get it in there every day. Okay? That seem fair? All right. I'm going to draw your attention to one of the last slides, and I think actually I'm just going to end off with this slide. What do you see? What do you see in the slide with the boats? I really like my boats. In one boat, how many people are in the boat? We got 4 in one boat. And the other little tiny boat, how many? 2. It's hard to see in this picture, but do they have more gear in the bigger boat?
And it rides higher in the water.
Yeah. But do you see more equipment in the boat? Okay. So the big boat is on a mission to rescue the little boat. The little boat, well, it's sinking. But the big boat has equipment and more people. So they have more capacity to go and help the little boat that's drowning, sinking, trying to keep the guys from drowning. What's in your boat? I would like you to think about what is in your boat that keeps you afloat. What are your tools? What are your resources? What do you have now that helps you so that you can help the little boat that's not doing so good and taking on water? So there's resources in our community. There's friends. There's family. Load your boat up. Load it up, right? Reach out to community agencies and partners, friends, family, and make sure that your boat is floating well. So if you should come across a boat that's not doing so well, you'll be able to help that little boat, right? Yeah. Okay. There's a few more pieces there, but I think you can unpack those yourself. I have some resources and websites on the last page, and I also have some activities that you can do for self-care. There's some links attached there. And then there's another beautiful picture of a great big boat that one day, maybe I'll have a boat like that. So I want to thank you very much for your time, your attention. I hope you have a great forum. You've launched off today, and you've got 2 more very full days coming up, right? Awesomeness. I'm looking forward to hearing more about how things go within the community. I love working in Brantford. I've been doing it for 15 years, and it's awesome. When I see projects come together, it's very exciting. Makes me feel good. So I want to thank you all very, very much and wish you a great week. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Laura. We would like to ask if you could possibly move all the tables to the sides of the room, and Emily will come up here and welcome our next guest for the afternoon. Also, there are resources up here on this front table that Laura has graciously offered us, so please feel free to come and take them. So, once we're done moving the tables. Yeah, you're going to be right up here. Do you also want to sign in after you put your stuff down? Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
Sorry.
Like they're not working at all?
Two of them were, we haven't called them, but the middle one wasn't.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, no problem.
Okay, if everyone is good to go, I'm going to do a quick introduction of Vanessa, who is coming to us from Modo Yoga. Vanessa began practicing yoga about 10 years ago and instantly fell in love with not only the practice itself, but the yoga communities she's been a part of and all of the inspiring people she's met along the way. She says yoga and meditation have been her saving grace. Yoga has changed my life in such a positive way. It helps me to continually grow and become the best version of myself. It teaches me to be grounded and present in the moment and welcome love and happiness into my life on and off my mat. Yoga is truly a lifestyle, and I'm grateful every day I found this practice and pathway to exploring my true, authentic self. Vanessa knew she was destined to become a teacher, to share her love and passion of yoga with others. In July of 2014, Vanessa completed her 500-hour Modo Level 1 teacher training in beautiful Kelowna, British Columbia. With Vanessa's love and eagerness to learn, she then attended the Modo Flow training that August. Since then, Vanessa has went on to take her Yin, SSU/Body Bliss, Modo Calm, Slow Flow, Mindfulness Meditation, and Bar trainings, and continues to attend professional development workshops whenever the opportunity presents itself. Vanessa currently teaches out of multiple Modo studios in the area, a physiotherapy clinic, and she leads workshops, retreats, and enjoys coaching local sports teams. Vanessa believes wholeheartedly that you are in charge of your destiny and you have the strength and power within to create a life you love. So I will give it to Vanessa. Do you want to do an introduction or anything? Are you good? No. Okay.
As best as I can. Thank you everyone so much for being here. Show of hands, is everyone new to yoga? Practiced yoga before? A little bit here and there? Okay, so I'm going to take you through a pretty standard yoga practice. The main thing as you move through these postures is to remember nothing is forced, nothing should feel painful. You don't have to do anything at all. Yoga is designed to be a moving meditation, so it's a practice of breathing in combination with these physical postures, but breathing itself is a movement. And so even if you felt as though today you wanted to just lay on your mat, that is perfectly wonderful. So we'll start right away. I'll get you to lie on your back, have your head facing me, and then feet toward what we'll call the back of the room, and you can just get comfortable. As you rest on your back body, if it is not comfortable for you to lie completely flat, you can also take both feet flat onto your mat, or you can take your feet mat width apart and invite your knees to cave into touch. And just taking up space around you. Your legs can fall wide, your feet splay. Have your palms facing up. And maybe for the first time today, start to bring more of an awareness to the way your body feels, the temperature on your skin, the feeling of your breath, the belly and chest filling up with your inhale, and then falling and softening as you exhale. And dedicating the next 45 minutes or so to moving in a way that feels nourishing in your body. Again, as I said at the beginning, nothing feeling forced. And you, as much as any human, any being in this entire world, deserves your love and affection. And so you can practice that right here. A huge part of this practice is the busyness in our minds. And so when you notice a thought surface for you, if that thought tends to be negative or limiting, notice it without judging it, and then return to your breath. I am worthy. This too shall pass. We'll start together by wiggling fingers and toes. You can allow that to grow into bigger movements as you roll out your ankles, roll out your wrists. Give your head a gentle rock from one side to the other side. Guide your legs together. Reach your arms up overhead. Just be mindful of toes. Full body stretch. Good. And on your exhale, just soften and let that go. One more full body stretch. And soften. And pull your right knee in towards your chest. Interlace your fingers around either your shin or your hamstring. And keep your left foot flat. You can extend your leg long, whatever feels best. Using your inhale, create a bit of space between the belly and your thigh. And then on your exhale, hugging your thigh in a little bit closer. And breathe in, creating some physical space. And exhale, pull your thigh in, compress. And keep that flow of movement going, or hold compression on your belly. Come into little circles, just finding a gentle massage. Guide your knee towards your right shoulder, opening up through your inner thigh and your hip. And closer towards your left shoulder, a stretch from your hip through your outer thigh, your IT band. Place your left foot flat. Reach your right leg toward the ceiling. Grab for the back of your thigh and guide it in close. It's a hamstring stretch. You can flex, point your toes, turn your ankle. And with all those little cricks and cracks. And on your inhale, take a micro bend to your knee, just really small. Exhale, press your heel up and extend. Inhale, gentle bend. Exhale to extend. A few more just like that. Inhale. Exhale. And breathe in. Breathe out. And cross your right ankle on top of your left thigh. You can stay just here as you are. Weave your right arm through the space that you created and grab hold of your left shin or hamstring, threading the needle. Relaxing your upper body, shoulders, head, and neck. And a slight tuck of your chin in towards your chest. Remembering neck is an extension of your spine. To deepen your stretch, shifting slightly left as your right knee widens. You can also take your hand and just gently add some pressure when pushing your thigh away. From here, guiding both knees into your chest, give yourself a squeeze, and grounding your lower back, rock side to side. And as you return to center, extend your right leg long as you interlace around your left. A constant flow of movement with your breath. The left knee into the chest, right leg long. We'll come into threading the needle next. So left knee in, right leg extends long. We got it. We'll do threading the needle. I promise I won't forget. Use space on your inhale. Pull the thigh in closer as you exhale. And inhale, space. Exhale, pull the thigh in, compress. And keep that going or come into little circles. This is really nice for digestion. And bring your knee towards your left shoulder. And your thigh and hip stretch. Now towards your right shoulder, hip through your outer thigh. Let's Place the right foot flat now. Reach your left leg toward the ceiling. Grab for the back of your thigh, guide it in. Now flex, point your toes, turn your ankle. Now gentle bend of the knee on your inhale. Re-extend your heel as you exhale. Inhale, little bend. Exhale to extend. A few more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. And then cross your left ankle on top of your right thigh, remaining as you are. Or weave your left arm through the space and grab hold of your right shin or hamstring. And pull the right thigh in nice and close. You can also explore flexing your foot and taking your ankle higher up, higher down your thigh. Moving intuitively, so there's never a right or a wrong way. It's really just what feels good for you. We're all very different. It's a beautiful thing. This time, as you release, bring both feet flat, both feet down onto your mat. Yep. And just give your knees a little rock side to side. And so just release your hips. You can stretch your right arm up overhead, tip over onto your right side body, and just rest on your arm as a pillow. It's a fetal position for a few cycles of breath. Resting on your side. Making your way over into child's pose. Take your knees mat width apart. Allow your big toes to touch. Hips sink to your heels and arms stretch forward. And connecting your forehead to your mat, you can rock it from side to side. Anytime we bring our head below the heart, it's a really nice way to stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system. So what that is just your rest and digest. It allows your heart rate to slow, your breath to calm. Activate the arms, press into the mat so you feel your elbows lift, and walk your hands toward the right side. You might even crawl your hands right off of your mat until you feel an opening throughout your left side body, from your hip all the way into your fingertips. And try to send your breath all the way into the base of your belly. And inhale, hands to center. Exhale over to the left, stretching throughout your right side. When we move through practice, we breathe in and out of the nose. This is a calming breathing technique. So again, another way to just slow the heart rate, especially if you feel overwhelmed or nervous in any way. Inhale, come through center, arms reach out in front of you, lower your chest to the mat. Feel that within your inner arms and your shoulders. And using your next breath in, we'll slide up into a tabletop. The wrists are under the shoulders, knees under your hips. Coming through some cat and cow to warm our spines. Take a breath in to lower your belly, look toward the ceiling. Exhale, round your spine and look to the ground. Breathe in, scoop your back. Exhale, round and arc your spine. You can close your eyes, exaggerate that movement. Inhale, tailbone high. Exhale, round. Press up through your shoulder blades. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. On your next breath in, come to a neutral spine. Walk your knees just a little bit further behind your hips and find a sway side to side. Just like you're drawing a half circle or a smiley face with the hips. And there's no formula. We're just warming things up, getting the blood flowing. Leaning to the left, coming through center, and to the right. And take one more each side. We'll find a neutral spine at center. Curl under your toes and send your hips up to down dog. It's just an upside down V shape. You can pedal your feet, lower one heel, then the other. You sway your hips side to side. Now rise up onto all 10 toes, look forward, and just tiptoe to the top of your mat. Take as much time as you need. And we'll passively fold once you get there. You might just ragdoll, dangle your arms. You can grab opposite elbows or wrists and find a bit of a sway. Relax your head and neck heavy. And nod yes. Shake your head no. And release that grip. Inhale to circle your arms out and up. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. We'll start with a few sun salutations. Have a wonderful practice. Take a breath in, reach up, look up. Exhale, connect the hands, bend your knees and bow forward. A long spine on your way down. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins, flatten the back. Exhale, fold and bow your head. Arms circle out and up, inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. Breathe and reach up, just like you're tracing the sun. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, halfway lengthen, flatten your back. Exhale, fold. Arms circle up, inhale. Interlace the fingers, point the index fingers up. Now ground down through your feet, pull your belly in. We're coming up and over to the right side. A crescent moon pose. You want your arms close beside your ears. Softening through your shoulders. Lift your chin away from your chest so your throat will be visible. Good. The weight is distributed evenly through both of your feet. You've got it. On your inhale, we'll lift an inch from the waist. Exhale, deeper fold. Inhale. Exhale, some tiny movement. Breathe in. Breathe out. Engage your core. Inhale, rise towards center. On your exhale, come up and over toward the left. So even though the fold is left, we're keeping a slight lift out of the hip, so you're not compressing into your side. Use your left hand to help guide your right arm over a little bit further. We have a tendency to pull that right shoulder forward. I encourage you to guide it way back. Inhale, lift an inch. Exhale to fold two. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Engage your core. Inhale, rise towards center. Now we're going to separate our grip and allow arms to float to about shoulder height. Bring your feet at least hip-width apart. Pull the shoulders back. Take a breath in. Exhale, sit down and back. This is a powerful pose. Essentially just a low squat. We're sitting deep into the hips. We have a tendency to kind of scoop the back or arc the spine. So you want to focus on pulling your belly up and in and guiding your tailbone down. The weight is more into your heels. Lift through the toes and splay them wide. Yeah. You want your knees to stay facing forward. We're going to press into the outer edges of the feet. trying to spread the mat away from you. And then on every exhale, coming a little lower, waking up the quads. Inhale, rise towards standing. You're going to lift right up onto the tippy toes. Internally rotating the thighs. Great place to balance just here as you are. You can also explore bending your knees and really slowly lowering down. This is called awkward pose for a reason. If you fall out of it, just come right back in. Inhale, we'll rise slowly all the way up. Heels down and float your arms by your sides. Take a breath in, sweep your arms up overhead. Bring your right arm underneath your left. You can either twist high at wrists and elbows or reach for opposite shoulders. Good. Take a breath in, lengthen and lift from your waist. Exhale, sit down and back. Take your right leg up and over your left. Now you can just tap your toe to the floor beside you. You can point your toe down. Maybe you bind around your calf. The idea is that we're squeezing everything into the center line of the body. That way when we release the pose, we have fresh, oxygenated blood and flow to all of our major joints. Bend a little deeper into your left knee. Send your elbows higher. Good adjustment. Step your right foot down, inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale to bring your left arm under. Use your inhale to lengthen and lift. Exhale, sit down low. Left thigh comes up and over. Firmly pressing your left thigh against your right. You can explore the action of trying to separate your arms. So we're not only creating space between the shoulder blades, it also creates space for the backs of your lungs. It's helpful for deeper breathing. Left foot steps down, inhale to sweep your arms up, look up. Connect your hands and bring them to your heart. Take a breath in. Exhale, we're sitting down low and twisting to the left. You can either take your right elbow to the outer thigh, or wrap your right arm around your thigh, left hand to the lower back. A nice twist. Try to have your bum sitting way below your heart. Use your inhale, lengthen the crown of your head forward. On your exhale, gentle twist, left shoulder back. You can look to the side or toward the ceiling. Don't want to feel any strain in your neck. Connect the hands, inhale, center, arms reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Breathe in. Exhale, sit low and twist to the right. And there's a connect of your ankles, knees, inner thighs in a way that just notice if the left knee is pulling out in front of the right. You'll guide it back. This helps to keep your hips aligned. And to lengthen, again, crown of the head forward. Exhale to twist, and bring your right shoulder back. Inhale carries you through center, arms reach up. Allow your hands to float to your lower back, kind of like they're in jean pockets. Root through your feet, engage your quads. Pull your elbows close together. So look to the ceiling. Slowly tracing your gaze behind you. Keep the bend into your upper to middle spine. It's your thoracic spine, so there shouldn't be any sort of pinch in the lower back. To avoid this, you can also squeeze your bum cheeks and lift your heart. It's an energizing posture. It also helps to release serotonin in the body. All of that good stuff we need every day. Inhale, slowly come to center, rest your arms, take a big breath in. Exhale, sigh. Yeah, let's do that again. Breathe in and sigh. You need a little drink of water. This is a good time to have one, and we'll meet at the top of the mat. like during these times, it's really just a preference. So if someone feels comfortable breathing with their mask, then we're just gonna let that
Life
happen.
is breath, darling.
I believe, yeah, it's okay. Gotta let people do the thing. Okay, so you're gonna stand in mountain pose. Arms alongside the body. Bring the shoulders up by the ears and just allow them to now soften. And take a breath and reach up. Exhale, connect the hands, bend your knees, and bow forward. Inhale, lengthen to lift halfway, hands to your shins. This time we'll plant the hands and take a long step back with the right foot. Now lifting high up onto your forefoot, left knee over your ankle. Peel your body up and stretch your arms back. We call this runner's lunge. Yep. You can always drop your knee onto the floor if you're looking for more of a stretch as well. Arms are alongside the body. You want your palms facing the floor. So what this does is create space across your chest rather than caving your shoulders in. And pull your left hip back and take your right hip forward. Good. From here, fingertips to the floor. Bend your back knee and step to the top. Halfway lift on your inhale. Exhale, plant your hands, big step back with your left foot. As you feel steady in your legs, body peels up, and your arms stretch back. Look just ahead of your mat, have your chin away from the chest. Even though we're hinging over the thigh here, belly is lifted. Send the backs of your arms a little higher so you're working more into your triceps. Fingertips float to frame your front foot. Bend your back knee and step to the top. Inhale to lift halfway. Exhale, we're going to plant the hands, step the right foot way back once again. This time we're dropping the right heel down. So I'm going to turn around so it's easier to see. The right heel is grounded down parallel with the back of your mat. Both hands to the inside of your left foot. And we're going to windmill up. Bring your right arm back, left arm forward. So as you peek down, your front heel is intersecting the arch of your back foot. Feel strong where your arms, pull your shoulder blades together. And draw your belly in. And guide your tailbone down. We'll move with the breath. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Reach the sky, look up. Exhale, bend the front knee and look forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. You got it. Breathe in. Breathe out. And we'll flip palms to face the window. Bring your left arm in front of the thigh, right arm to the sky. So triangle pose. Using the strength in your core, you're lifting out of your side body. Look towards your fingertips. A little bit of a twist. You're guiding your left ribs underneath your right. Beautiful, looks great. Inhale to warrior two. Exhale, landing a little deeper in your lunge. Take a breath in. And a breath out. And place your hands to your hips. You're going to straighten your front leg. Heel toe your back foot in as many times as you need. Turn the right toes forward and step to the top of your mat. In mountain pose, breathe in. And let it go. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Connect your hands and bow forward. Inhale, lengthen to lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, a big step back with your left foot. So now we're pivoting the left heel down. Both hands to the instep of your right foot. Windmill up into warrior two. So left arm back, right arm forward. Strong arms, pull the shoulder blades together. Now you can just hang out here. You can make it a little more challenging. Try squeezing your left glute, bringing your right knee over top of your ankle. Now without actually moving your feet, the action of sliding your heels together will build stability in your legs, strengthen your inner thighs. Move with the breath. Inhale, front leg straightens, reach up, look up. Exhale to lunge. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Breathe in. Breathe out. Then pivot your palms to face the side. Right arm comes down, left arm reaches up. So get out a little pressure to the inner thigh as you guide your left shoulder back. And just notice if you're sinking into your side, it's really a reaching up for the sky rather than for the ground. Inhale carries you back, warrior two. Got it, and land. One more breath in. And a breath out. Hands to hips, straighten the front leg. Heel toe, your back foot in. Take your time, take your time. Eventually pivoting your left toes forward, bend your knee, and step to the top. Release your arms alongside the body. Let's get the shoulders, a couple rolls back, spin up, and take it forward. And breathe into reach up, look up. Connect your hands, bring them to your heart, and we'll place them onto the hips. Root through your left foot, widening through your right knee. Now you can just take your heel to your ankle, you can bring your foot to your inner calf, or slide it up closer toward your inner thigh. Focusing on one spot, and take your hands to your heart center. Tree pose. A posture where we really have to focus because we're balancing on one leg. When we focus on our bodies, we're less worried about the busyness in our minds. How does your breath feel? The quality, the texture of your breath. Lengthening your inhale. Expanding your exhale. Stay here, grow your branches, arms reach up overhead. Shoulders soften. And challenge your balance some more and look up. Wonderful. Hands connect to the heart. Right knee forward, step down. Other side, hands to hips, left knee widens. Foot climbs up to your inner leg, wherever's comfortable. And bring your hands to your heart. And pressing your foot into your inner calf, your inner thigh. And then you're opposing that force as the inner thigh or calf presses back. Adding some pressure between your palms. Roll your shoulders back. Stay just here as you are, or go ahead and reach your arms up. Look up, smile, the edge off, it's just yoga. Hands to heart, back and forward, step down, release your arms, and just shake that out, let it go. Time for another drink of water, and then we're going to come onto our mats. And have a seat. A comfortable seat. So that means something different to each of us. Maybe it's crossing your legs. Maybe it's sitting on your knees. Whatever feels best. What we're going to try and do is find a slight tilt in the pelvis so that we're able to sit tall through the spine comfortably. Rest your hands on your lap. Facing down tends to feel more grounded in your own body. Palms face up is often more receiving of all of the incredible energy around you. If you decide, you can close your eyes. Let's tuck the chin in toward the chest and bring your right ear over toward your right shoulder. A gentle stretch for your neck. You can stay, you can inch your left fingertips off of your mat. And you might even feel this stretch all along your left arm. Everything is connected. Inhale, belly fills up. Exhale, belly empties. Begin to angle your chin down toward your inner arm or your armpit. And you should feel this more through the back of your neck. You might inch your fingertips a little further behind you to deepen the stretch. You're turning your hand to your lap, chin into the chest, and left ear comes toward the shoulder. Remaining here, inching your right fingertips off of your mat. And sometimes we start to lean to the right, so keeping your posture, shoulders right over your hips. Full breaths in. Complete breaths out. Angling your chin down towards your armpit. Inching your right fingertips a little further back. You return your hand to your lap, chin to the chest. And you can just gently rock your head side to side. Keep your gaze down the whole time, so you never really want to bring your head way back. Always just gentle movement. Then bring your chin towards center, lift your gaze. I'm going to give you a few options for a hip opener just because, again, we're all very different. So the first will be seated lotus pose. And so you're going to take the outer part of your right foot to the inner left thigh. And you're just sitting like this, feeling a stretch through both hips. You can bring your arms forward. That feels good. That's one. You can also take shoelace. So we're stacking the knees, and legs are splaying to either sides of the room. This is a little bit deeper, often sometimes more tricky. Or you can take a seated threading the needle. So we did this pose on our backs at the beginning of class, and they're all opening the same area of the hip. I can demonstrate them all again if you want to have a look. And just your upper body, because we're not pulling on anything, you can just fully round and relax. Good. It might even feel good to bring your elbows to the thighs, stack your hands, rest your forehead there. And try to close your eyes. Maybe you pay attention to the colors, the patterns, shapes that you see behind your eyelids. The sound of your breath. Perhaps the sound of your neighbor's breath. And we can support one another this way, especially when we're able to practice together like this as a community. Sometimes when we forget to breathe, our mind is too busy. The focus on someone else's breath pulls us back into our own bodies. Reminds us, okay, let's be right here, right now. Let's take a few more cycles of breath like this. Take your time as you walk your body up slowly. We'll place both feet flat onto the mat and rock the knees side to side, releasing the hips. And setting up the other side. If you're coming into Lotus, outer part of the left foot to the inner right thigh, and you're just stacking your feet. Shoelace, you'd be taking now your left knee on top of the right. You might even just need to physically help your legs display. Or you're seated threading the needle, the left ankle on top of the right thigh. All really the same thing. huge piece that really inspired me to continue my practice is the mind-body connection that I started to feel. So we carry a lot of stress, we carry a lot of scars, trauma in our bodies, often the hips. And so when you're in a pose like this, sometimes that surfaces. You start to feel it. That's it coming to the surface. That's your way of releasing it, of letting go of those things that sometimes are in our subconscious that we don't recognize are still there. You know, it's really important to give ourselves that space to heal. If anything that's surfacing for you that resonates, try to meet those sensations with your breath. One more big breath in. A long breath out. And take your time as you walk your body up. Bring both feet flat and shock your knees side to side. And make your way onto your back body. And have a drink of water on your way there. We'll finish the last couple postures there. And have your head to me, feet toward the back room. We're setting up a supine twist. So feet are flat, arms are wide. We're sitting hips to the left, lifting the knees and allowing them to fall to the right. And you can look to the opposite side of your legs. If that's posing any sort of discomfort for your hip, you have a water bottle with a lid. You can put that between your thighs. You can also place something under the thighs if you have a sweater, if you have a blanket. Anything really works. And adjust your body so that both of your shoulders remain relaxed. And close your eyes. And in a way, give yourself permission to fully relax. Especially in society today, kind of what we're trained to believe is that we constantly have to be doing more, to be more. As important as it is to strive for growth, to become better versions of ourselves, it's just as important to recognize how far we've come and to give ourselves a chance to recharge by just relaxing. Inhale, slowly make your way towards center. Neutral spine first. And we'll switch sides. Sit your hips to the right, lift your knees and allow them to fall left. Or just the opposite side. Touch on how powerful our minds really are. And the fact that we cannot control our thoughts. We cannot. They surface. We certainly have control over what we feed, what we give our energy to. Reflecting on one positive thing that you can say to yourself today. It may sound corny to you, but one thing, one nice thing. Now say it a couple times in your mind, And allow yourself to sit with that. Inhale carries you back towards center. Invite the soles of your feet to touch and your knees to splay, like a butterfly pose. Now you can rest your arms where they feel comfortable. It could be hips, over your head, one hand to your heart, one to your belly. And just inviting the weight of gravity to naturally lower your thighs. Inhale, belly and chest rise. Exhale, belly and chest fall. And as you're ready, extending one leg out and then the other. Coming into Shavasana. Shavasana is just a comfortable position of rest. It's common to feel a little compression in the low back here. You can try squeezing your glutes a few times and releasing, or both feet flat. Relaxing your toes, your feet, your ankles. And then say to yourself, my toes, my feet, and my ankles are relaxed. Relaxing your calves, thighs, and hips. My calves, my thighs, and my hips are relaxed. Relaxing your back, shoulders, arms. My back, my shoulders, and my arms are relaxed. Relaxing your wrists. Allow your fingers to naturally curl. Relax your neck, your head. And allow your eyes to rest a little heavier into their socket. Unclench your jaw. Release the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Finish with a breathing exercise. We're inhaling through the nose for a count of 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath. 3, 2, 1. Sigh. 3, 2, 1. Inhale through the nose. 3, 2, 1. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. And then breathe with you one more time. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Okay, one more full breath in. And sigh. Landing completely still. With that, knowing that you deserve this time for yourself. You deserve time for yourself each and every day, something that feels good, whatever that is to you. It doesn't have to be yoga. Maybe it's taking a walk outside. Maybe it's reading a book, enjoying a cup of tea. They make that time. You deserve it. I thank each and every one of you for perhaps trying something new, for sharing your energy with myself, with everyone in this space. The light in me sees light that shines within each and every one of you. Namaste. Just means the goodness in me sees the goodness in you. That's all. Thank you.